Innocent. You shall you.
Says now we are ho. But I have a toe. Wow. Never boko.
There may I say, be able to there. Yes, I say, oh, Yanko.
Dedica, I mentioned if I think that issues are from there. And also, you were Ofori-Atta na you were Wontomi issue.
Maybe your person or the
yeah. Dedica, I think that my man started from Wontomi case in answer.
Okay.
And I think that issue and we've got into the end of it. But the side aspect, a certain snapshot to be a yani so the minority or more parliament a catch Ghana for say among koyo mojuma namum or more court to solidarize with Wontomi our national security. And we saw Nema a course or M4D course but behind those Nema Nana air course, there were critical questions and that people were not asking. Captain, the gentleman was granted bail in Ababe 4 days ago. The bail condition is 50 million Ghana cedis.
Pew.
Yes. The MPP made it look like, say, a bin sida in the life of Ghana. A Kana Yadia to Wontomi sono. There's a coming nowhere close to the Yahubida in this country. And most of the interviews are not big wings within the party. I say, Omashada Asalapi Wontomi with 50 million Ghana cedis are buying it to me. Intentionally, they don't want Wontomi to be built. But, Captain, my men drive you back to 2012. Abra your first Wyoming case in the Gidi Wokroma say no. Wyoming case, the amount of money involved there 51.2 million Ghana cedis. The gentleman was slapped with 54 million bail condition as far back as 2012. So it is not Adi Ebinsi Ukromada. And he was able to meet the bail condition, granted bail, and the subsequent way on 4 years. Now, no one Papa now friend at Wesi and they say on any for D or bank is Sikano. Do you know the amount of money that was slapped on them? 600 million and over. 600 million compared to 50 million. So I know that they're not more was much ado about nothing. Just trying to whip public sentiment. Because the real and the core issues at the center of Wontomi case, are far bigger and larger than the in the case of your friend say Wyoming. Wontomi case, even one case involved a whooping sum of about $45 million. I can be nowhere close to amount of money and more about Wyoming. Again, that's why Azim Bank $10 million is even bigger than the amount of money I can have. And this we are now be bailer. You heard the amount of money involved in the criminal way na why no. They are so amount bail because the idea is say nipa no dwane state no more at least the bail condition can defray the extent of cost na yabo no. So very often na bail no so change sikana yes wedi no. But they want to make case 50 million is nowhere close to your friend is saying $45 million and even $10 million. And assassin so was saying no. And these people were trying to whip public sentiment into this particular issue. Say, lose focus on the criminal activities now. I say, pay attention to. Because for me, I'll be very much concerned about the destructive nature of Wontomi's businesses. Natural, forest, the devastation of cause to your natural environment. And on a put value and money on it. I'm not sure, say, another time. Now, Wontomi nama all kobase and we didn't see the minority, the then majority, or anybody on his right senses. All cultural brands, adia wuye who say and tia beya hasting slowly. Because Anam says Sikano ba a common winner bidintino. Nobody cautioned that gentleman. And my catcher will be only answer when you to me. He thought he was sitting on the moon, just doing things in a manner, Sabi. So at that point, they lost key on caution. They couldn't caution the gentleman. Say, now dangerous. And again, political influence can be a man name say. Because you see a wound to me contractor. The question is track record ben or when it comes to say because we have contractors over the years, they are known for some of these things. But I'm saying no political connection like Captain Smart to tell a contract, every excavator crowd to be that. But what you do is a wage contract, and I feel I will show beer. All that expecting us can was slash it too. Now what they have and I'm some find your coin, then the hooping some not about her. And over the years, that is what we've been doing. So the gentleman na kwaje land say or kwaje coins or babe ye. The question is that did he do it or yeah. Evidence was here. These are some of the things I was expecting the MPP to put out the fact out there. Say, and some na ye can't to a brand here no so no. And coin we no kwaje ya why evidence in here. When you speak to people in that particular manner, then people will know that the government is witch hunting the gentleman indeed. But the reality is that and some na ye can the criminal activities now why you are not even talking about it, you are not even interested, and you think say we are still in 1990, we are still in 2000 where you can just say MPP and this and I'm 40 years that emotional campaign, emotional politics, those things will not fly. It's the reason why the right thinking Ghanaian in society couldn't fall for some of the shenanigans and those kind of emotional campaign that was activated by the MPP. Now you're quite form now and America said these guys are not serious. They are still joking in opposition because you see, Captain, when you lose political power, you lose connection with the people. That's so right. As a right-thinking individual, as a who leads such an institutional political party, what you do is you try to reconnect with the people by making sure, say, you become a voice, a representative. Because whenever a government is in power, it's a different thing. But opposition, you always try to bring the people to your side by making sure that you lead the conversation, direct the conversation. Say, by I didn't feel goodwill ever fall into your side. But never no more, you go to social media, it's as if that's still your opposition. MPP is still in power because every single Ghanaian on social media and as a forum, if you listen to some of the comment didn't even concerns among for Kenya, they are just trying to paint the MPP as if they are still in power because doesn't make sense. As an opposition party, you need to just restructure things and see how about approach it. But they still have this arrogant caliber of people still leading the chart of the party, and they think that they need to go ballistic. But then politics necessary, the narrative necessary. Ghana for are interested in the substance of the issues at hand. It is a to me issue now all can bring the key fact eguho na can say na cause it's the same emotional campaign of Muweji in the case of the Chief Justice when they were saying that Pamu Chief Justice Amanako when indeed fact on the matter, the evidence available and the processes has been activated thus far. No, there is no infringement, there is no contradiction, there hasn't been any error that has occasioned anywhere. It is a whole cancer seminar based on what? Ma mena tena say seminar on tia say on court. So on one kwaji unanimous no be. Unanimous na no package o chicha ma amanfo no. Ono aya ma na package ni be odi kofie. So that is how it is. Esa yehu say and then won't be metana Ghana for agro. People are interested in the real case, the evidence, and as a for because of social media, Obi are not interested in politics, right? And then they are getting used to people are hooking on. Man for Bayer so much interested in issues of politics. And don't think you can wage that emotional campaign. I don't know. Me catch you say, Abra, I'm general secretary. No catch you say patriot. You enko adenta kumifi. No. What a comment you be true. Obi say Obiang when you were chopping your ladies. Did you remember us? These are things that say Ghana for need that. They are not for your ladies. Did you remember us? These are Ghana for the only way and then they say making sure say goodwill is on your side. When you have that thing, people will follow you. But when to make case, it wasn't as if he wasn't granted bail. The gentleman was granted bail. All that they needed to do, somebody will pop up and say, my provided the sureties and but I promises Canada Japan now. Party amowo your friend say asimfo su Elon Musk dey senka nema we no problem or to bottom he could have paid. But Captain, the reality is that they were just finding and dancing around the whole thing. It took the gentleman 4 solid days in your friend's EOCO custody. And now who let me say kwabrania ye week kwa ye ha and the say political power. So wunya so who say would ye nyansa na to ho power is fleeting. Political power time is very uncertain. And we need to me a fire nyansa there and treat people good and make sure that there is an expiry date. Our office be our don't ever think say menye to me and it will never exit. But unfortunately, because most of the people who get into political prominence in this country, majority are not intelligent. When they get there, they think that they are sitting on the moon. The expiry date will not come. But you see, power is fleeting. It doesn't matter how long you stay there. The expiry date will come. But either so you survive or not, it will depend on a name of what brabo beye. Won't to meet radio, so now you go, ne diamond, and as for the good TV swana, a man for a bojin so no. Ano namana or kasaka akakabensam no. He never thought that time will come and he will be held accountable. So it's a message and it's a lesson to everybody in government today. As a when you to me, now I just say be class 7 na be dia friend na obeka our girlfriend na wo no jai dada na obetọ cars na se for more. You should know say a time will come. The only difference between you and Wontomi is time, and that time will definitely come. A bar won't because you see the era where people go on TV.
The only difference between Wontomi is time.
Time.
Okay.
And that time is coming. Time no, so you can't stop it. I will be in a born and you can't stop time. Time is always running.
Time is gone.
Exactly. But to be safe, it depends on what you do during this time, and to make sure say you serve people with dignity. Yama power no fa so amra so maybe say me hu say kobiche e dey abrante bi aba one of the radio station TV3. Captain, do you know what happened to me? Say June 3rd disaster be here no. And a boy was a victim. I think that he has undergone a lot of surgeries and as for we live in a country where there will be a disaster and a passerby will suffer such a devastation, a bit difficult to the extent that we're describing it. The gentleman has been left to his fate, and on nam kwan ho no stress resika, and a kobiche ko hu na or try just to solicit some way be or the man. So why would you be no? I think that you can contact him no help be a. The gentleman is in one of your studios. Boy na over the so politics now, your question is how do we impact on people? Because I never disaster na see and amam for lusu omoyere. Obi lusu ne ma, obi lusu na busi, obi lusu ne nine, obi anima say, but state has never ukwa abroad. Oh yeah, Jumama campaign the bina say ukonya accident ya. So uti ya and I say accident in a very way so won't mean Juma captain, you will be paid till you die. But in our part of the world, disaster na onim hu hwe a ye we na see and a wire victim. But nobody will go to his aid. A choice of power and politics na ye nyase de bebo ni power. Among for you to me na fena ye de be yakaka ben 7 science no is the reason why we see people like Wontomi as for all of them rushing into the political space because and them catch say politics and governance in our part of Africa no and give you prominence to intelligence wisdom then as for be any fool at all can become a leader at any point in time because osikana as for them and it's consistently we've been driving ourselves into a hellhole. How do we get out? It is contingent on menewo. How as people never rise out of emotional politics. Never making sure that governance is about us. It is not about some kind of fidelity via war and emotional attachment via war to individual and not any political party. Because young crow for no Chrome has a nipo munya to me no, they don't respect people. Or munipa or to me afeno di bedin se munu and to what you are now cotton when munya mana or the when form. Let us sit back and make sure say the wielders of political power will be held accountable. Now you make sure says how to me no yet be yamanipa anya impact also. Now obi ko din in same huna enya wo na wokoba aboso na wakodi okogina dwam time na mekokwa ma no. Say when the gentleman was in power no, what is Wontomi be in the door say MPP for mra party da. But enne ya chena or frau say wo hiani no bra EOCO na be dealers na wokwa na yekobo wani a nkwase ani na yabo. Sa enne it's a lesson to every young man out there. Politics, let us sit and make sure, say, we direct people to do the right thing. Obedience, don't be fooled by any your party. No, make sure, say, issue na ye can't no. You really understand it. Can Ofori-Atta beba no so otina kroma bon kwasi abosi nyina o gana kwatera burucho no to so ope zoom no ope Twitter no mo de bema no ohun hwe.
Anyway, Lucius.
Captain Darcy, before my court mentions, I na Madam Fuduwa Wenchi, a friend of Sabatu, or I saw over the weekends, let's call more information, Bina, as I went to me and found out course. And you know, maybe I'm at the number, Ebema, it's about to Waman the Marble. Now, Captain, Wontomi case in Wahoo. Minim ye na NPP for be persevere the case here ankasa eye because the EOCO for no ebi asipen enye wuntumi nko aso de tie se EOCO for ekọ se be kọ kire no ba nkọ se be kọ gina honom se be kọ be kọ tutu atu se ne na ono paint picture na ma na ye no obia ni one okọ ya okita se kan ana se obi koye gidigidi wo honom but the arrest warrant ne kọ se be kọ akọchi no na de meka kra se de di kan a ba chew ye wo mra e wo kurom ha sei emra a ehye offense institution no nsa no eche se be wakwanya se ana se that authority na be betimi ade be betimi achew enti de di kan no ba chew de to so mienu se eni ho kwan se be detain for more than 48 hours enti no eduru sabre no ba ma bill enti no ne be hwe se obi mom eba be den ebe ba be belu enti se MPP for kwa be ko honom no ho le ho ye lawyers parliamentarians wum animdifo ewum hunim bill condition na e wo honom dem panti a be nyina be ko bodompem e wo honom wa abreko a banti an hwe kwan be fa so be meet the bill condition na me na anu no nyina na me hwe le na MPP for ya na me hu say be su be ho say obi ayi asne ye obi ayi enti ne na be ni nyina no na ba na be su be ho say akwa ti say wa bo awura maternity ward. There is no virgin in the maternity ward enti ba na be ho no nyina no akronfo fa be ya nkrofo a allegations e de da so say either say obi aye bibia daachi bia ono nso hwe kwan say ne be de ye wuntumi no ono nso obeden obekomu bi because say wotie wuntumi lawyer na no Friday what you say na man no de maturity ya adwuma na offense be ayi director of legal na minim ne na opese o kire wa abrako a wankasa wo ya mranim ni a wo che se wo ye lawyer na wa hu say ya ma obi bill say ya ma no 50 million sa 50 million na ya di ama no wuntumi de no kra esau because bini tisani Ivan ekayi about Wyoming there about what sign ball obi foforo there share even atuation share ayi men's gold ni pa kra friend simple ayi men's gold so no kra there 500 million number one there 500 million now they compare 500 million to that of 50 million. Na wo be gina honum na se o ba be ye dede a na no kwasem ye say damage a wuntumi akose no sa 50 million na be de man no kra mpo no mi hunu kra se esa kra and you see wuntumi ti krom ha say empanifo kan say bi say it takes a whole village to raise a child enti wuntumi ti ayi krom ha ensema okeka amanfo edibani ehwe obia ntimi anya chese MPP for ntimi anya nyansasem bia anka nche madamfo ade a wuye awia chire no ne ebeto no enye papa or the emotions chese ofiti preko pese o kasa na wa yina adwena asi nchen na wa ahya ase ese ensem huru mfreni masem ensema emfata ensema pani enka he wuntumi nsema okeka ya na okuru asi won ebi wo okra captain wuntumi repeat ensema wuntumi keka ye ebi wo ha wuntumi enye den en repeat na nokwasem ye se he emra de mra o emra wo ho se ye start say de mra ya aduma ebetim de mra ya aduma be won ye fe no displacement of anger so because of de mra den anywhere dia wo hu obesan tumi de offense abufuo awuram wontumi ya that type wontumi ya obi achi a beche no Ghana for dodo na ape say ya chi wontumi because nsema wakeka no krom ha any damage a wakose no enye damage ketua na wonti krom ha sei wahu say obi akwaje besia 10 million say me de kwa akodua bu nipa kroya asna kwakoje ayi road contract cocoa road contract say oba beye yewu kwan a waye the same person abawura forest cause a lot of damage e wo honom na ya che na de obetimi ayen say obekwa akotena fam na waye didi he da bia me kan say we won nursing pregnancy is not difficult too. Nursing pregnancy is not difficult. So wonyem na anyinsen mu emu abofro ne mu ntasu toto aha enya den
isa
raising up a fool so wo titi gimfo dancing bosom nkuru anyinsen no because me abede ye wontu nu on MPP for the year no fan fooling say MPP rally. You can imagine sika anka bebe hia any the I mean can saying crowder ebe ho but eba ni say no say benya amanfo no abekoi benya amanfo ebi mo so ti krom ha ya ma men kan asem wi danfo bi ko gina ehonom bele say oloye frafra ni o say oye den hwe ebi mo aye be ho say but the whole northern region no ahu ebe twitwi gatem mamen ka sa asem wi sa nipa na okogina ha ka se wa organize bokofo wa organize hefafo eni ntino se ba ne se kan dia
forget
no
forget
frafra hene tiemi afra no twena so se frafra hene tiemi
wa be pa che o
ene na che opa ni nyina no ban twena so se Oti akra ha babia yewo bia yewo dagate hene yewo mo hene yewo mosi hene yewo hwano ane frafra hene wo ho onfra no na asotwe a efata no onfa ma no hwe MPP ba ye northern region ho no kohwe the whole northern region no enye ayi baumia no kwotena ofrensen radio so kwake say the biggest project about no northern region eye dam na abaye no ho no meanwhile 11 million afa on sato yahu dam yahu hwe wo ho northern region da no ye no ho no free upper west upper east northern then course wo ho ne obi mu mababa ne chairman na out of his chairmanship no onu atimi awe ne contracts ahodo atimi aden akogigi sika enu kwanse ogibabia ese nka di sika ko ekoma hiafo kwa damfu ya gigi agunu botom wa metua ba school fees wa anya hwe amount ede ba achi na wa ba be gina ho e ka say wa organize bokofo ne hefafo say wo de ba be yi wuntumi na wuntumi ti krom sky oje no normal bi wo hwe nipa no kra ne ho ne dress ya na odigina ho ma wo ti se be 2 series coin bi ni dani botom a enwan no enso ojino say oba be yi wuntumi what you said no ya no ho no kwa no nti ase
2 cities
I said 2 cities coin bi ni dan boto ma ya wan no
and also the baby you
oba be yi wuntumi Captain ya semo
I don't say 50 million
yeah 50 hey nano no wa hu won say captain
oh my word
we dey wa ma menya tribalism kakra won say me dagati ni last me catch you me dagati ni enti mpampi no sometimes we yes na say last me catch you say me dagati ni na media da
what you kasa no
metepa metesin kasa bia
ka fadagati kasa na me so tia
me fankan embo yeko very yela na efe wa ma me kadagati kra
ka me se kadagati na me ko kadagati na me ko mami wuza
me free nandom enti ma menchi nandom impole ni neza poli nandom na ano nkaka okay so inyi nandom buo na yi inye ke embo empoli anandom bi liza poli nandom na ame embo yeko afrafaldim abe ya beyin te master ne be ne boli apoble na chente alabe a yala ala na ya ne fa iwa And if I a problem change send a ball, everyone and send it, one day, Alona, I want to change that will be near contract on a day. On a day, our contract now back home name. On a back home, once who change Alabi, I care who done it, never uni boko, and then uni bolga, say who are even to once has a yale. I want to know that will be Okohonabi. Okohona, I want to the coop. Pampana Hunachina Yila. Hunachan, who be able to school fees, son, won't win an ayabe. Be an aya. Baumia Dana del Buaco. Wow. Baumia Dana del Buaco. Be MPP new Bull del Buaco. So, Captain, Macari, Matubafo. Maka. Yes, somebody young.
Samina. We know in reclamai.
Far one reclamai. Far one. No, I just don't want to go hard on them. One say, yeah, bad masters. What you see, and you have a young qua. And into a higher quality. And you that's how. And what can person? I catch you on several occasions. The first time I catch you on cry, I do nothing.
So,
wow. Now, me won't say me didn't cry down. Say the guy today. Remember 9 tafudini double so. Me cry in trouble for me. Me one wabro for me.
Sir. What delicious today?
Sanfa.
Wow.
Me the chuvia Sanfa Lucius. The chuvia na say by year from chuvia no say tafudini.
Okay. To me, no mean tough. Simple. Wow.
I shock you. A man in shock you. Say, Obianim.
Okay.
Obianim.
So, won't to me your crew.
Won't you match several of our friend? So, if our friend need the anachas or a macua.
Won't you be now?
Oh, empty captain. Dear down for no quadna or ye and a friend myself no yeno. 1 year, 1 year for 2. Because won't to miss the car wagging your room hand walk or moby. Won't to me contracts are ordained 1 floor say baby. Won't to me call master a master for tall or friend saying a Land Cruisers at the man walk 1 moby. Now then, Ubegina Honum say, then yet the Amawo said, then yet no about Begina Ho. Ebeke kan nsema enu kwanse oka. Wahu captain hwe okọ north honoma development bi anhye dan ko sa wo. What you say? Enti mpempi no eya ne me kai say o fight ade na yede mpuntu ebeba ba bi a wo ye den owo. Na mpuntu no ba wo obe den obe enjoy bi. Na nya individual na ono no waye bone a ye pe no achi no na office wuntumi nko a ene me ka cho say there is no virgin in the maternity ward sankrofo na beko ho no nyina no be nyina no be case da ho a your friend saying be be chibe nkrofo beko ho no nyina wo de afa be nyina me ti say nipa o ma o guarantee wuntumi $10 million no ono so ko ho bi nipa na ono wo your friend is saying Exim Bank no guarantee no $10 million no time na beko ya beko tena fam no no so to hobi etu onu ano he is consciously aware say won't to me the car won't to me NPI yet ya ka cho say ye masse apako na wo no this kind man na want me anje during your time no beko announce wakobi nipa bonfo same way I say wunim o he I say wunim ye ko wahu unim yeko enkra wo krom ha se books ankra besu akra na benya bi emfansia de e wo ho time who introduce new curriculum wa abreko ana textbook ba akokra ho ntimi emproduce na se sika wo ho no ma no nsa wo do nsa ebubo sika mu rough how I didn't say so yes sir enti na ya me no wo kasa anu on agora nkra fe ne e ba be start na wo ka say yi aba yi no ayi no be yi no wo ho minim so akoda ho no ba bubu ni nkotodwemu na won timi ngira ne nan so na MPP fo no on bibi habe nipa wo hwe nanima utimi hu say onu ankasa no or medical condition no na ne ka ho ba kwa fum ne car ho kra onya ahome kra na wahome the same person na ho twetwa ade no the same person no be yi no once na ko fum car no ho like nipa ko be ne wo ho obi a oyare enti wontumi de me mra no se beti ma mra no den adwuma MPP for na me kai say before the inaugural ceremony no me kan me tuba for say se be ko inauguration na nka ba ben fa bus na ben ko nsawo na be ko na ben ko chibe hungum because after inauguration no ye edition go ye ba be reset Ghana reset no what 10 pesos craft on satum ye beje say 10 pesos craft on satwa president Mama aka say 10 pesos craft on satwa ye beje entie ndey no ema obi enya na dwen say wa afri aban mu na mini be fri aban mu no so say be nyina badana yare fo sedenu wochi obi a obeyare obi a ne obechi ni bi obeyare hwe cases a aba MPP cases aba ni nyina ba ya chi be ni nyina no obi a yare fam akunfia mi odie ayi afran say wontumi ayi ba kun so ne onso wakoka so oje ya say onu no pezum ayi ayi danfia no bo besia bebrebe ayi Ofori-Atta enti obi a na ebe chi ni bia na de olo yare obi a ebe chi ni bia oyare na se onim se oyare ahwe da bia metu amanfofo me kasa ase we say se uye nipa wahu ye de ye anya hwe kura no obeye bone ba ko mienu bi afam that is fine but se wotena asia ye anyamo ho nsem ese niema ebeduru ba bi no wahu oho beye mobo ne MPP for eye ni nyina no onse ne be ho aye mobo ene be ho aye mobo sofu bi a oti Kumasi before the election okọ obunu region okọ gada asofo ye national cathedral na ne ho bon mu ayi ya friends kusi buasen ha okọ obunu region no okọ gada asofo no ono emo mpese o influence be se bento aba ma MPP o wie no cha sika o free ho no okọ obunu east no san kwa gada asofo ho no san cha sika ma be no influence be se bento aba ma MPP no okọ obunu region sa o free no okọ Kumasi dia na oye no enti na be nim say boni abadim be betim di sika e retain power na Ghana for ye engineer sa uye ni na odi nkwasem ni na awia bi ha de ni ehwew in the end no be kofi ebi ni say ne ho akofie no be fie na akọ no hu dodo na abedam captain me MPP for dodo na bebedam ba nkasa be yawe wuntumi ho na be ko e na ne be ye no na ba na be esu be ho it's not like say wuntumi nchi a na ba be esu be daachi because they say daachi bia no bebedam.
All right. The producer sent him a letter. It was written on the 14th of May 2025 about Ofori-Atta our Mayo Clinic our US. Sir Oyare. Na the yare no ya diagnosed no with prostate cancer. Now, a surgical intervention has been deemed necessary after the testing and MRI and biopsy procedures in March 2025. As indicated in my February letter, just a letter of Troy, this surgical procedure has been scheduled for June 13th with Dr. Paras Shah of the Department of Urology. And for that matter, no. On person watching tin answer to we kurana Uncle Ken June 13th for ton on be sa procedure no. Na ye no surgery no June 13th for the na say here time or the better apo. Obi a surgery there innocent there. What's our field no be to be actually.
Captain, I think it's some bufu Okroma, but Obending. So when Yarea, we sympathize with him because Yarea there, Obia predisposed to, and Obi Yarea at any point in time, all that you can say is you wish that particular person well in the oil. But you see, the reality of this whole issue is nobody is disputing the fact that Ofori-Atta Yare. because Abraham no finance minister ko when the born anima me catch our platforms when the born and news what me say oyare na onam at the time I even know a finance minister. So at the time I now taking those decisions as to whether or not he was on the right frame of mind. And I said because some of the decisions now no taking sometimes you wonder whether the guy was even thinking right or not. So oyare there no oyare that anye no bayare. So that one we understand. But you see, facing prosecution, you know, we are talking about a person, you know, either say owa hoden so obetimi atena be bisa na no asem because nobody and I can say arrest Ofori-Atta you say why niam ba ko na mienu na be you no so Ofori-Atta is not to be a bedridden obi a odam paso a ontimi nya hwe anasa oya immobilized like oda ho ye ne hwe enye and na wa lose ne sanity a obisa na asem ontimi nya no and it's not as if he cannot travel. Because Ghana for more UK last week, Omuhunu were London. And I think that the video and the pictures, what will be? So, on your be own to mean to coin. So, the impression they are trying to create is oyare, and there will be any that Onyam Koya Kranoyare, for that one we understand. But the fact is, every single criminal activity via a course under Kufuor government via no, Ofori-Atta is involved. Every single criminal business via. So, he's the masterpiece of this whole corruption puzzle I try to unlock as a country. So I a person of interest. And he said, this whole thing started, Maka said, the office of the special prosecutor, we need to decommission that particular office. And since the day almost started, I've seen them, I catch a crowd winning for a waste of resources. For me, see a person fighting corruption, we have state institutions like our say a resource more like the AG, EOCO, and so forth. We can easily deal with this. This Kisieja been press conferences of emotional sometimes so you don't even know what he's doing. For me, the office of the special prosecutor must be decommissioned. Now you focus on some of these things. You see, the approach now we're adopting, and no one ever can Ofori-Atta the OA. Because in the first place, gentleman ya accusing no or set a time, Amero Benya Huamba, ya just to man. In the course of ya by the surgery, now say ya diagnosing no captain. It didn't happen at the expiry date of 2nd June or the Mayano. But Otana Siama. Your friend say, "Emerana would the man aswa we aka 3 days, you know, and order letter bro." Say your friend is saying, and then you schedule no for another surgery. And all this thing I course, you know, diagnosis nearby, you know, he could have communicated to the office of the special prosecutor. Now you say, "Oh, every change arrangement and I change it," and they say in the and he's gotten to a point that he's telling us, "Officer, yeah, Zoom meeting," and I'm telling you, say, "Metana Hakacho said the gentleman is not willing to come because only Oba de besi because Oba say special prosecutor for any we are EOCO for Befano, EOCO for Fana, national security for Befano,
national security we are NIB Befano."
Because every single criminal activity be open to Obenya Kwanya Kono, na nya de keto and won to me dey aye atiwa kakra o ma kire won to me no. Who say me kwa maso be yese and it's the reason why he's playing all this game because yare dey o yare but the fact is say onye immobilize on to me move around and for me that is the sad aspect of this whole thing and these are the people young people in this country it me sorrow boss was he defending these people now no MPP for some what won to me no o ma mfa kwan papa so maybe say and the national security for Nkoto Kente, your friends say, among Koto Kete, into Omokofa na ye boy, because and then I will say you respect to and ya chill. Because we say Nansa be him. Because arrest warrant was issued. So what again do you need? Say yam fakwa and papa so na arrested no enti ye bebo wuntumi ama na yanko han ketedim pintini ne yansan fa nko ne fie na who say yes national security for ba be fa na asesen. You see, these are people my minor men ye jira ba bi ye jira and then they are bold enough to tell us say ono ye ready say obebo man because onti apona say Ghana for ye ready a ye ne nya zoom way zoom na man for free say ye tra keke captain say Ghana aban pese onne Ofori-Atta ye zoom a we need to notify the US authorities. You cannot do it because this is a criminal proceedings and the answer now by yes no that letters rogatory must be written to the AG's department in America to seek authorization. Now, amunso who say a case na aircourse no enye political witch hunting na mom a clear case of corruption asa and sana wanya hu akwanya ene na ye that particular conference call no enti enye easy sa akekese wo kan ya na ye the camera kwesi nani because issue no in the future no might proceed to court one in the corner catch and say, and some no kind, he was under duress and as for that particular evidence now what gathered from him no cannot stand the test of your friend saying prove evidential value now pay at court no and to me yet. So this whole process now all come and for who is samples as be Zoom no. It's not just Zoom. We have to officially write to the AG's department in America just to notify them say because a criminal proceedings a quite civil are fine because there are people who we can easily engage on Zoom then as if because and now say a criminal proceedings now our consequences in the future about involve evacuation and as for we need to do all these things and he knows. So it's just a matter of just dragging the process and he also knows very well that your friend saying mutual legal treaties are America and other countries or Ghana but your cooperation and for you to evacuate kind of right at Nibaba Kruma say no and the keto was a man for say Interpol red alert as well. You think it's easy? It's not easy when the gentleman is not ready to come because he is playing I am sick card on humanitarian grounds. Obia or say Oyare only ready to move, no Interpol, no FBI can force him out of the jurisdiction. To do that, it will have to be decided by a court in the United States of America by providing all the documents or when na court ashema who say and some now can based on the documents I examine and as a forum. And your mom to us young no if he's not willing to come and easy. And that should tell you say Abdubone and Omode Numa Okroma say Wagugu a man for bank say businesses Abon Kwasi Abosia ma say your mind there come and na krono akese akoso Ofori-Atta involved no and he is bold enough to look us in the face say Ghana for I am not willing to answer to you because they be pay manya and maybe away he can decide never to come to this country because they've been able to move monies outside this country so maybe no or he's okay, you understand? That tells you the kind of politics that we do in this country. And Abraham me no near TV so another beer we are talking about Ofori-Atta no. Not yes a time and no be time no. And as a beer I bind and no be time no. They have no respect for the people of this country. Only Bonia wedding no or metzen ha kwada wo bi sana sem. And now when yakuko do to say Zoom no pe. Na krono no and kwasi abosia na obono Zoom. Cathedral now time yesika momudi to amana no Zoom no ye no osisa yesika koye. You see, these are people who are not credible. They are very dishonest characters. And Akufo-Addo na bekwa kofa sa Akufo-Addo mo bebu o man because captain the minimum say you kasa why ade na wonye bone a all that you have to do ni say oh I'm available on this date me bad mo ba beka simple as that and people know say we yara no e bia they won't me fa me won fam when you demonstrate say indeed and you are willing to cooperate. Oh, and the surgery can answer me as to whether the surgery will be done, either there will be complications or not, you don't know. Time of recovery in as a forum, and as a surgery in your bum crowd and someone say because you can't set a basic you cannot evacuate or extradite him by force or the neighbor until say or no you're willing to come. And from the kind of maybe our videos to catch us say and now there's a branch say. He's not willing to come. And then we are here. Mark it somewhere. We may sit here next year, sitting here, we'll be talking about Ofori-Atta not being in Ghana. Because on your already saw Baba. Because on him the fate that awaits him. And on him say he can never buy himself out of the cases now EOCO. So the only way out, and they said, we play the kind of games now. For me, I think that we can proceed. Captain, the last time I catch you, the Nuremberg trial, Abraham. Even those who died were tried in absentia because the principles of natural justice indicate that the accused must be heard. This is a guy who is waving all these opportunities in as for them. So I think if it is possible to take a statement from him, we should proceed and go to court and if possible convict him. Conviction is not only about within the jail. The mere fact that the person has been convicted is enough because whenever he steps into this country, he becomes a subject of a prison inmate. Now say, oh man, so then that's what you flew back. You bet me see prison get to and I think that Ghanaians will be satisfied because Bonia Ofori-Atta Edi under Akufo-Addo no, he cannot go scot-free. And every single criminal case be a cost be no or can be. And the very people in the MPP are now more adjacent like Ofori-Atta or Ofori-Atta no and then let hono omra mayina no kwa na ato ade a sebi just for so no maneba kroma and for me case no must be transferred from the office of the special prosecutor. Now say EOCO no be deal maybe they should find a way out, maybe cooperating with the American authorities if there is a way be a ometimi afa so de na ba na no na make us obi say the best way between that ban say among kidnap no financial sack him no because if he decide to play I am sick card na captain on humanitarian grounds, it's very difficult to deal with it. Not special prosecutor and transfer a case in my EOCO. Now anyway we but for me I think that this whole thing is impossible. Dragging Ofori-Atta to come to this country when he's not willing to come, no, it's not possible. See, force on the number based on cars and I say play. I am sick, you know. It's sort of kind of ordeal. It's going forward. No, see, the to me money power. It's not just about the NDC MPP. We need to look for minds. They are accountable. They are very honest and ready to serve this country with dignity. Their allegiance should be to the people of this country, to the constitution, and to the flag of this country. Not people who are working at the behest of certain porn masters. Everything that they do, no, is to satisfy the parochial interest of themselves and these masters. Because Ofori-Atta even he was not even serving the interest of the MPP as a political party. It is the reason why at some point in time, no, his own people were calling for his head. Now, at some point in time, you hear more. Then when I'll be a chief defender, Captain, now I research. Do you know, sir? Sika echo wound to me as an individual. As such as Sika echo Ashanti region. In terms of development, because I'm trying to find out if there is a single development in Ashanti region under 8 years, Akufo-Addo, it cost anywhere around $50 million. If there is a single project in a whole of the Ashanti region, the value, no, it drew $50 million. Wouldn't to me a pocketed more than that. So it's just one person, no, now are richer than the entire Ashanti region, the base of the party. Now what's in a bar seems me baba say you side depend when indeed, even though you one for, but the evidence are quite clear. You understand? So I think the Ghana for my ninte. Now you move beyond this emotional partisan activism over the years in the NDC because people do all this silly nasty stuff because of Omunim said to the idea. Among for better TV soon radio so defend because you know one political party. You fire again but if we begin to approach issues dispassionately, devoid of emotions, devoid of partisan allegiances and affiliations, that kind of connections. Now we are looking at issues from a very nationalistic point of view. Say Ghana for if we're able to strike the balance between red and black, now we say this is evil, this is good. These people, their motivation to do some of the things that they do, no, Captain, it will not be there. But as long as we sit on TV and fight over issues, we try to bury the truth and hide behind partisan cars. No, these people will continue to have energy to do some of these things because in a country, serious, you know. These people, everybody across the political divide would expect that Ofori-Atta will come to this country for us to face justice. But the question is, why is he not willing to come? And Niamana, or he's even ridiculing the people of this country, and his people are here just playing the same card as if say Sabi. They are trying to take things away from. But me say John Mahama be the president 4 years. After 4 years, he will be no more president. Another person will come. Ghana is the constant figure in this whole narrative. You understand? So allegiance should be to this republic. But people come in the name of political party and they take silly decisions at the end of the day to endanger the prospect of this country. Look at things that Ofori-Atta did. For instance, Cathedral na ye kan ho asemi. Akufo-Addo did in sako bomb mine si come for $50 million, you know. Or also for 50 million Ghana cedis. And yes, contract ahuru ase binyansa nim. Na ene nipa hospitals na for there is no single hospital betimi do omon say ye shall see hospital ye wie agenda 111 me hu so no share dan me have worked at the hospital captain ye can hospital nye dan is ho dan no is just 40% of it stocking it, you know, that is the hospital. Now a hospital. A dine is not hospital. Stocking it with state-of-the-art equipment, you know, and a money hospital. And this is kind of wasting over the years, you know. You see hospital, and I can Ofori-Atta to me Ghana for him so or not as a finance minister for 8 good years, you know. The care, ne surgery now or pedal. There is no hospital in Ghana with the amano. And or come Mayo Clinic, which is one of the biggest hospital in America. When Jessica to the stand say, Obetimi now I will take KJT our Tom and now Tom Kobe. No, area. Can you even come to Kolebu? Can you? You see hospital Esiafari. 8 years they allowed the hospital to destroy. I dissipated to a point and equipment I say, or not to make a plane ticket, aqua way, aqua hand yare. Make sure say one as an individual. No. So what yare and then can you do the same thing? That, Captain, that is the question that we should be asking ourselves. Can you go to even Accra as a Kike? But your Jai Hospital, nobody is even talking about it. And for me, that is the shame. So Ghana for say now you move beyond this emotional politics. Now you make sure say the abjing who say politics, me party, that is good. But the constant factor in this whole equation is Ghana. And everything that we do must be in the interest of these people. I'm sure say people who come to serve will serve us in dignity. They will know say they are serving the people. It is not just about minimum sana. And for that reason, and look at a lot of the fake certificates that are coming into the system. I think that even government say yeah, vet nipa bufra with the certificate about Kuroma. Captain, I'm telling you, about 60% are fake. I'm telling you this from a very reliable source. Ghana for them, doctor about 60% of the certificate they present in this country are fake. I'm asking government to set up a desk. I verify every single certificate coming from outside. And we need to be very sincere. Now you're making sure say we are serving this country with dignity. Because say my boy party, no of an president. Can for a say because even in his own party he was scared. MPP for Nankasa no Muslim don't mean Kanasem. Take all the decisions and I'm rabbi you are no investigating some or can't you say you zoom man. And that is here we are today, and we are not making any progress. This conversation will be coming up and there will be no progress. So for me, I think government aggression on corruption, we need to activate it and make sure every single means be able to processes, and even if it will not be possible, let us start it. The extradition, whatever we need to do just for Ghana for to know, say we try our best. But the gentleman is not willing to come. But the special prosecutor, the honor emotional press conference, we are sick and tired because officers are not there. Press conference, Ghana for are really serious. And I'm asking them, say, prosecuting these people is a sacred responsibility at Ghana for. Now, I don't know, $1 if he does not hold these people accountable, Ghanaians will never forgive him. Because in the last 8 years, we saw the atrocities, the disrespect, the vulgar impunity with which these people operated. Ghana for Kenyans, they did all that they could because they had that particular power. We need to send a message, say, there are breaks. Even in America, a president, they are very powerful. There are certain things you cannot do. Trump attempted to extradite certain individual courts was stopping and a whole lot of way. And that break, and the democracy. But Africa now yet, it looks as if the power bit my BBR. That is why you are consistently losing trust in democracy. What was that countries which are going cool? Now yet, president so more who need people are losing trust in democracy. We need to make sure that we build confidence once again. And some of these things, so the MPP will continue to make noise. There are people on the radar in the coming days. They'll be coming up. I think that it's not just B. Say Yednako Yoko. Say your friend Chamawun to me a Saturday to Oko Court. That is your friend say, is it on the 9th of this month to say way? I think that is what you should be. It's not like say Achinipa Nakona and no one see Yantepi. Ghanaians are following keenly because a time will come, Ghanaians will begin to ask all these questions. My character say, many Ghanaians thought the NDC and MPP the same thing. Oba, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. This is a time for John Mahama to make a striking difference and know the NDC and the MPP are not the same. And for that matter, he's ready to deal with these people. And for me, that is what I'm for. It is not about any individual, it is about the greater good of this country. Now, you send a message loud, clear, say, Ghana, and you're here from Kwaneko prison. Now, mum. Among for Motina offices, politically influential people that we are Kenya, several Mudidi, Sabi and Sebuno, they too can go to jail. Right.
Senior, I'm not 2 minutes for Kakasos on the encore.
Mate, maybe last Mecano Hatche, GB said, Oshe, Ankane, the previous years, no MPP4, then your platform be a Nasa Betinaso, Nasa, on a bed, Casa. Betimi ka say NDC for corrupt. Betimi ka say we NDC ni a kire MPP ni a NDC ba so. Betimi che no etu. na na be refi say Prof Mills Basso no ono no yes o on de oya asomdwe hene enti ye oniema bi wo ho a dede ne nasefo na wo mpe ene ne man krofo bi a na ba wiewia sika e wo kurom ha si benya beti edidi mu ene no free on president mama nso bae ono no nso bae no yes I say father for all that father for all attitude no enso man krofo bi a na esenka ochibe no wantumi anyeden anchibe enti no be fasade no say oh eye be no mum ne ba anyeden ba nhyeda anya de bon and sometimes there was a perception we say oh be de krono de benim krono bo betim de pen bo krono a wuntim yeden wuntim enchibe enda no aba be clear so now tim de pen bo krono wa bra yentim nchew ana wuntim fa pen embo krono no aban asesa se wo he OSP ayi issue ya enro a oye ho press conference yi me no senior Ivan ka me hu ni say anhwa ebekwa akoye ti say the old narrative na ye be ba press conference no ye be discuss various platforms so na asem no ayden akoda because this is somebody what wants afre no say omra no aka che o say oyare into ntumba somewhere generally num honum in February no o kire say oh wo yade no wo hwa obekọ akoye operation somewhere in March no mu nyina no wa meka hwe enti time bia no wo te hwa wo twen say OSP ebeto ne nsafro na wa use wo underlying medical condition e dey make excuse say wo kwa akoye surgery ana say onti apontimuntim yede untim emma in any case say obi yare a kwan ne kire say nipa no oyare wo na nkasa na former finance minister no onye doctor OSP so onye doctor enti yem sa nipa mienu bia no entimu enkire the condition na wom no enti say no kre say oyare na say bia yede wo hwe wo ho yade a eye doctor ene yede ehwe adenti a o ma doctor no ema offense medical report na on analyze the issue no ema yehu say pe AOB and C nti no bia obeba be operation eda say na no crampo no obetimi a kire say because of that condition nti no utu kwan a enye yie what I say but when na chi no o meka he time bia no akwakwa to say o de Ghana for any OSP no adwen ediago o twen say ye beba be den ye be frew ye frewa na wanya bibi ayden aka wom see this is somebody can Ofori-Atta won nitim edin say uhu ni sa no he de odi amanfo akomu oprom ha nne onu nitim ay ne da o che ho a o ka say o hia zoom ayi no ah he bank say ogugu nu won nipa ewuo mu no nipa ba wu o de enfense yempo yempo eno no de haircut ba ya amanfo collapse wo krom ha wu ya amanfo have tension e be ba ya be wu yi no the same person
Captain say o declare no one tade dia babi obehia de bia dead babi agada dia obehia de bia che no
o tumi so no na o de na
babi abachire bia
o de na ba
5 cedis